What's up, guys? How's it going? So, first of all, I think this music might be a bit too loud. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. Not sure if that actually turns it down on stream or not, but okay. Anyways, I think that's a little bit better for me at least. How's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing all right. CGO Clan, good to see you. SC Woods, how's it going? Garlfin, I guess we're changing the name of the stream today. And hello, I'm Amethyst. Good to see you too. And Tree, man. We got like a lot of people this morning. I mean, I feel like we usually have a lot of people, but just more than usual. So, today I want to do biomes, or at least get started on them. We'll see how far we can actually get. I've got high hopes, but you know, I got no idea. I always have high hopes and then we end up never really finishing much. But we'll see. For now though, while we're waiting for a few more people to join, I can show you guys what I've done, which is actually quite a bit because it's been like 2 weeks since I last streamed, and I've actually implemented a lot of other features and stuff. So I guess the two biggest features that I did were colored lights and different block types. So basically now we can use colored lights and different block types. So you can see we got blue light in there, and then these are all stair blocks, which is pretty cool. Oh, and then these are actually vertical slabs, so you can see that they're like halfway there. And they have bad item pictures. You can see, let me turn on my cursor highlighter real quickly. Nope, doesn't look like I got that. Let's go to my desktop and turn that on. If I can type. I'm still kind of waking up. I was up a little bit late last night because I got a VR headset and it's awesome. If you guys have the money, definitely get the Valve Index and play Half-Life Alyx because it's amazing. So yeah, I'm a bit tired, but it's all good. Okay, let's see. Where is it? Right there. Cool. So now I got my cursor highlighter on. You can notice the item pictures down here. They look really stupid because I'm just using default pictures. I haven't actually added the render and kind of get them in there yet. The lighting looks a little bit weird, but you can see that you can like place it, different block placements. Lighting's still kind of broken. That's something that I got work on. And then same thing with stairs. You can like turn them. It mostly works for turning the stairs, but there is some problems. And then you can also like put them upside down and stuff, and turning them also works upside down. So yeah. It's pretty complicated, but we'll see how you can add a new block type because I kind of want to put it through its paces. So we'll do that with a fence block, see how it goes, and then we'll move on to biomes, which after that, it should be pretty quick. Yep. So hit the geezer in the YouTube comments with the classic MySpace roast. That's nice, girlfriend. Yeah, I noticed those people, man. And I always notice Cherno is a bit harsh when it comes to code reviews too. I've considered submitting like a piece of code for code review or whatever, but I'm always like, you know, I don't want to go through that harshness and stuff. But yeah. And Flare YouTube, how's it going? SC Woods, tell me, Gabe, is multiplayer implemented into single player mode as well? It is. It's kind of like a mixture, and it's probably not the best way in my implementation, honestly. But what I'm trying to do is basically implement it in an agnostic way so that multiplayer and single player use the same code, which I think is the best. And then sort of separating the multiplayer, single player components as best as I can. But yeah. And Flare YouTube, let's please not. Oh, okay. You said thank you for giving me sub. I'm sorry. Okay. Cool. I thought you said please give me sub. And I was like, oh no. But let's see. CGO Clan game is coming together. Yep. Except the font. Yes, I know. I need to fix that too. And how's it going, Voxorifs? And the master does not ask people about reviewing their code. Well, I would not consider myself a master. I've still got a long way to go. But I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, we've got like all this stuff. If I give myself a redstone block too, we can see. Oh, and then also like the spruce logs and stuff. I think spruce logs are the only ones I actually have implemented as log types. So if I say give spruce logs. Nope, that was wrong. Give at me spruce log. It doesn't have an item picture. Once again, another problem. But you can see that if I place it that way, it goes that way. If I place it this way, And then it's also like dependent on your angle. So like if I hit this face, it will hit it there. But then if I like go at this angle and hit the same face, it turns it this way. And all I can say about that is vector dot products are amazing. Use them because they tell you information like that, like how close am I to hitting this. And I have it set to a 45-degree angle. So if I'm like at a 45, it should switch over. Yeah. So like right in between those turning and everything, which is pretty cool. So, and I did that for the stairs and everything as well. But yep. And those vertical slabs, I know, right? So how do you add a new block type and stuff? It's actually pretty easy, and we'll go over that real quick. Like, we'll add a fence connector. I already kind of have a fence thing, but it's not working quite right. I mean, it's working fine. I'm not sure how it's going to work with like connecting the fences together because the rules might be slightly different and it might break what I have right now, but we'll take a look at it anyways. So the way that the blocks work is you basically define a type, and then you define the vertices, and then you define the indices for each face. So it's basically just like regular, you know, OpenGL stuff, except you define all these manually. Eventually, I want to have some way to like, I'll write like a custom exporter from Blender that will automatically generate all this stuff for you, so you don't have to worry about doing this all by hand. But yeah, Twitch random nickname. Won't vertical placing be painful with this feature? So far it hasn't seemed too bad, but that's something that, like, you know, got to consider and everything too. The way I have it set is basically, I think it does the same thing as like the stair blocks. Like the placement works the same way. This is it, yeah. So like basically if I go this way, it's there. If I go this way, it's there. If I go this way, whoops, or I guess I need to fix the bounding boxes too. So you can do cool stuff like this, you know. Doesn't seem too hard to like work with and everything. Seems to work okay. It is kind of annoying if you're like trying to place it to the side. Like you can do that and you can do that to kind of get it in the right place and stuff. But then of course, if you got something like that, that's going to look weird, but you know, it's experimental. We'll see how it goes. So yeah. And, as painful as placing a horizontal log in original Minecraft, yeah. And those horizontal slabs are illegal. I know, right? Can you place 2 slabs to make a block? You cannot yet. That's a good idea too. We'll have to look at... Right now, the bounding boxes you can see are completely wrong. So like, that's just wrong. We'll have to figure something out for that eventually anyways too, but yeah. And what is the blue light in the house? That is sea lantern. So sea lantern emits blue light. And if I give myself redstone, if I give myself redstone block, did I give myself? Oh, I have to, there's an invisible block there. It's the spruce logs. I have to fix a lot of stuff, but, and if I can type right, give at me redstone block, there we go. And then I put this in here, we've got red light and they mix together to form purple light. And then if I set the time to 0. It's a little bit cooler. You know, you get kind of like that reddish light mixes together. So it's pretty cool. It was actually very easy to add too with the way the rest of the light levels and stuff work. You literally just do the same thing you do for regular light calculations, which is awesome. I think glowstone is like orangish right now. I got it right here actually. So if I do that, we get like an orangish light. It's not quite white. It kind of matches like the color of actual glowstone, which is nice. So yeah, I think a green light will be cool eventually. And then another thing I'm going to do is if you go through like red stained glass, if white light hits that, it'll actually tint it red. And then if you have like other colored light going through it, it'll tint it that color, which is pretty easy to do with the way everything else is in place and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm happy with the progress so far. And it's going pretty good. This is in debug mode too, by the way. So like if anything ever lags or whatever, just keep in mind it'll be faster in release mode. But I'm pretty happy with the performance in debug as well. Another thing I should probably show you guys real quick before we start diving into some code and stuff. I was just doing some performance testing. Like I said, this is debug mode. So if I go into creative and then I just go and start breaking blocks as fast as I can. So this is like fast break block mode. If you hold the mouse for more than 2 seconds, it just starts breaking blocks, I think like 30 times a second. So you can break like 30 blocks a second and in debug mode, and it doesn't really glitch into the chunks, as you can see. So there we go. We had like a little bit. Okay. Yep. You've got a little bit of glitches, but for the most part, it can keep up with the actual game. And then here, we'll put some red light in here. There we go. How do you like that? But for the most part, it can keep up with the game as you're breaking blocks super, super fast. So I'm pretty happy with the performance we're getting of like how fast it is to remesh a chunk and everything. Performance will vary. If you have a bunch of stair blocks in a chunk or something, that's going to slow it down when it's remeshing it, which is something I may need to consider in the future. But yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Okay, so one thing I wanted to show you guys was how to add new blocks. So we'll do that real quickly with like a fence connector block. So right now I've got something in here. So that's a cube. These are block rules too. I'm still iterating on these. I might have to do something different because I'm not very happy with the way this works, but it is what it is. It's really, really hard. Let's go over this real quick, actually, just to illustrate how hard it is to do stupid stair blocks, okay? Ray tracing when? It's going to be a long time. So, and enchant me with my knowledge gives 1,000 golden coins. Is it possible to use GPU to speed up chunks loading? There's only one part that it might be helpful for. But even then, it's kind of difficult because chunk loading is very context sensitive, right? We're calling out the faces of blocks next to each other. The GPU doesn't like accessing memory at the same time. It likes to have everything sort of local to whatever it's working on. And so when you have to go ask other chunks what they're working on, I'm not sure how that would affect performance. I have no idea. But yeah. Okay, so stair blocks, why are they so difficult? Well, the way I'm doing it is like basically, if we look at this face, right, of the stair block, and there's a stair block rotated 90 degrees, we just turn it. Easy, right? Well, not quite so easy. Technically, this face turns this way when we have a stair block facing this way, but it's the same face. It's turning a different way when we have the block facing this way. So we can't really just say, hey, if there's a stair block rotated 90 degrees, turn me, because it won't work right. We actually have to have some context in there. If there's a stair block rotated 90 degrees away from me and it's facing this way and I'm facing this way, then turn me this way. You know, and so you start getting into this kind of territory and you have the same problem every direction, right? I could place it this way or I could place it this way. And then it gets more difficult because if we are looking at this face and we have a block facing this way, well, then we have to rotate this way, you know? And so you've got this other type of thing, and it's like you just have all sorts of problems to deal with and everything. And it, as you can see, it mostly works. The lighting is a little bit weird, but it's not completely working because there are certain instances where you have two blocks, something like this. So if we go like this, oh, that one actually worked because I have some rules coded in. That one worked too. I promise one of these will... Okay, there we go. So you can see it's not working properly. And why is it not working properly? Well, it's because now all of a sudden, which block are we paying attention to, right? Now we have to say, oh, well, actually, if there's a block to the right of me and there's a block over here, because technically these shouldn't rotate, right? Because their faces are touching each other, and normally, like, you could continue a roof like this, right? You could go like this and then go like that. But how do we know we're continuing a roof and we're not just like, actually, I want to just do like this square thing, right? Where we just have a square. How do you know? So, I honestly don't know what the best answer for this is. Like, what's the proper way to do this? I don't know, because some instances you do want it to go this way, right? You just want to have like a stair roof thing. So yeah, I've got no idea how you're supposed to code consistent behavior for this, especially since it's not consistent behavior in the actual game. That's what Minecraft actually does though, right? Does it? I swear you could do like a four block little thing, right? Like that in Minecraft? If you can't, tell me though, because if you can't, then I'm overcomplicating my life for no reason whatsoever, because this is just very annoying. But yeah, you can do this in Minecraft. Yeah, that's what I thought, but just very not fun. So yeah, I'm not even sure how Minecraft makes it so that it's so context sensitive. I don't know if they're using like, oh, if they're pointing like in the center of the block, then this is a different block placement. But yeah, another thing that you have to keep in mind too is you have to retain the old rotation and everything, right? Because if I do this and I break this block, you want this block to go back to its original state. Okay, so not only do you have to change its state here, but you also have to retain the old state so that when you break this, it goes back to the old. It retains a memory and it also changes. It's a complicated problem, like way more complicated than I thought stupid stair blocks would be. And then of course, you got all the same problems when you're going upside down, right? You have to do the same exact thing. And then, yeah, it's just not cool at all. That is a lot of logic. Exactly. And that's why my rule system for this thing ended up becoming so complex, and I still don't like this. We're gonna have to see if I can come up with something better, but I want to see how this works, because I want the rule system to basically be complex enough for stair blocks, but I want it to be also useful for stuff where it's like, oh, it's also simple enough to use for like a fence block where it just makes it really easy. So yeah, we will have to see. And Flaming Knight, how's it going? Okay, so let's go ahead and add like a fence connector block and we'll see how that goes. I have stubs in here for like carpet, path block, but they're not doing anything right now. And I have this thing called wall block, which is actually what we're gonna call fence block. We'll call this a fence, and we'll actually call this a fence post. So we'll have fence post and then, or actually we'll call it a fence block, because fence block is gonna be like the base, what it is by itself. And then we can add different block types. Like you'll see for stairs, I have corner stairs, I have regular stairs, and then I have inner corner stairs, which are down here. Inner corner stairs, right? And then I basically have inside the stairs block, which is like the only block type you can actually place. It has these rules, and it says become a corner stair if the left block, or the block touching the left face, is also a stair block and it's rotated 90 degrees from this one. And I basically say, oh, also, if it's facing right and I'm facing back, then rotate me 90 degrees. And that's to code in all those catch-all statements and stuff. I had to code a mini parser for this. Not fun. It is pretty neat. If I like have a typo in here or something, it will catch that and it will warn me so that you're not just blindly like typing stuff and hoping it all works. So you'll see I got an assertion here and it says error in rule corner stairs, rule 1, expected facing left, facing right, facing front, or facing back around here. And then it points to where I had the typo so that I can go in, fix it, and just be like, oh yeah, I missed an A there. So make good errors no matter what you're doing, because it's so annoying when you're trying to code something and there's horrible errors and you can't find where your bug is. So that's another very important thing. Yep. CGO Clan, I can't type in TV Simeon. I think that's someone, but yeah. Voxros, am I doing fences or biomes? We're doing biomes. I was giving people time to join. Since a lot of people have already joined, we can jump right into biomes, or I can show you guys how we could add like a fence block real quick. It's not that long, maybe like 10-15 minutes. So up to you guys. Let me know in the chat real quick. Biomes or fence block, then biomes. Let's see. Yeah, being a sub is just for supporting the channel. But yeah, I didn't see the earlier message. Sorry about that. Rootski 3, how's it going? The game is going pretty good. We've made quite a bit of progress. Let's make an entire language for the block mentioning thing color inverts. Yeah, dude, this is not cool. It also has like, you can add arbitrary spaces and stuff. Only supports and statements because I didn't want to get into complicated like expression parsing where you have something like that. And then, yeah, I didn't feel like implementing all that stuff. Yeah. Fences first, fences and biomes. Okay, cool. You guys are lagged behind from me a little bit, so it's always like I have to wait a couple seconds, but that sounds good to me. Okay, so another thing too that I don't quite like is adding a new block type is not as simple as just adding it here. I actually do have to go into the code, go into blockmap.h. This is atrocious too. I don't even want to talk about this. Okay, rotations suck is all I'll say. But anyways, I have to go into blockmap.h. Yeah, rotations suck. Okay, and then I have to go to somewhere in here, right here. Okay, and I have to add it here as well. So don't really like this, but you know, it's the best way so far. So then what I have to do is I have to say like, I think we said we're replacing the wall block, which is not really a wall block. It's actually a fence post. So we'll have like fence block, and then we'll have like half fence, full fence, and then corner fence. And I think those are the only types. I'm adding them here for now, but we're just going to work on half fence for now since it's the easiest thing to do. So then if we go into here, of course, we've got our fence block, and we have to match these names perfectly. So like, it's not great because you have to know what's in the actual source code in order to determine new block types and stuff. It's not cool. We'll have to change that. But anyways, let's just copy this, and then we will tweak it based on the needs for a half fence. So a half fence is going to look like something. We'll determine that in a minute. I think what I want to do is like set up the block rules first, because that will be interesting. So let's do fence post becomes a half fence if, and then the left block and the right block can be actually several types of things, which makes this, and my expression parsing is going to have to be even more complicated, which is not cool. So this will become a half fence if left block, because right, we could have here the left block or the right block, or right. Right now what I have it is like if you add in another thing here, this will actually become and, so like it will and all these expressions together. And now we're gonna have to have or, right? Because you could have a full fence if the left block is a cube or something else, all that stuff. You can do this to create an or kind of thing, right? So we could say like, let's do left block is a cube, or left block is a fence. So this is what we'll do for now. It's not ideal, but it works. So this will or these together, right? If any of these are true, it will become a half fence. And then see, this might work out. Let's actually keep it like this for now. Because then for like full fence, we could do more complex stuff where like if left block and right block are type fence, or if left block and right block, or, you know, and then we could do more complex stuff like that. It just means you have to hard code all the logic in here, which isn't the greatest. But, you know, this works for now. Twitch random nickname, delay is really small, just thinking. I'm not sure how small the delay is. Yeah, because from when I just said that, I still haven't seen any chats in real time. But yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and define how a half fence should look. For now, what's going to happen is if, see, and this is why I don't really like this, we'll also have to do right block is type fence if right block is type cube. We'll copy this a few times. It's getting very ugly very quickly. If right block is, we'll do front block, and we'll do back block. Right, there has to be a better way to do this, and I'm gonna do some brainstorming soon. I have to start editing videos after this though, so it's gonna be a while. Okay, cool. So that's what we'll leave it at for now. So now it should become a half fence block if we have like a fence or a cube anywhere around it. So let's define the vertices. Let's go to the drawing screen. So this is how I've been defining vertices and stuff. I just sort of draw these horrible drawings and we figured out from there. While we're over here too, real quick, this is the new binary format. I've actually had to add another 32-bit integer into the vertex format, which I'm not very happy with. but it had to be done. There was just no possible way. So now we're actually like 1.5 times bigger for vertex data, which isn't very cool. Crazy Mink, thanks for following. So yeah, this is basically what it looks like now. We've got this vertex offset index thing, which helps me build any block type and a lot of other stuff. But yeah, anyways though, let's just go ahead and create that half fence. So if we go into here, I've got to readjust my drawing real quick because it looks like my pen is at the wrong screen. Wait a second. I'm looking for my drawing stuff. Here, let me see. Okay. Let's change this because it's at the wrong thing. Wait, let's go pen display. How do I change my display that I'm... Oh, here we go. Working area. Okay, that's the wrong screen. This one? Okay. Cool, that works. Cool. Okay, so let's go to drawing. We'll grab that, and we'll grab that. And basically what we want to do is we want to define vertex for something like a half fence, which we'll say looks like this. Oh, and this is another thing that's going to be annoying with this too, is rotations, because now we have to rotate this stuff, which is not fun at all. Okay, how does a half fence block look? It looks something like this, right? And then that just goes down, and then that just goes up. This is a horrible drawing, by the way, but I'm just trying to get the gist. That's how a half fence block should look, right? I think that's right. We might have to add another post over here is what I'm thinking, though. But no, we don't, because then the other block can just be a fence post. Or they can connect in the middle. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, is they'll just connect in the middle. Okay, let's draw that a little bit better. So... let's see if we can draw this. Okay, so we got that. We got that. And it doesn't matter how well the drawing is. I just need it here for some sort of reference so that when I go defining the vertices, I can actually tell what I'm doing. Okay, so then we'll go down, up like that. And then we'll go like that. Down, down. Okay, and then we'll go down here. And this will have a connecting point in here. And then we will also have connecting points in here. Cool. So this is like the basic sense of what we need. This is how many vertices we will need in total. So we'll do 0, 1. It doesn't matter what order we name these to. Just need to give them some sort of identifier so I know what I'm working with. 5. We'll do 6. Oh, crap. I just switched faces. Let's try and keep them aligned at least, because that'll make it easier for my brain. So we'll do 5, 6, 7. And then we'll do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's getting pretty crowded in here. 14, 15. Okay, so 15 vertices. We've just got to write the definitions for them now. This is our axes, right? So this is X, Z, Y. So positive X is front, negative X is back, positive Z is right, negative Z is back. That's it. So now that we got this, we just have to define offsets, and then we can go ahead and use those offsets to actually define it. I'll actually bring this over to the main screen so that you guys can see it as I'm doing it, just so that you get an idea. So let's go ahead. We'll put that there. We'll put that there. I'll collapse that. So we've got our offsets. We've got our picture. Now we go ahead and we just define it. Everything in here. And like I said, I'll eventually make like a Blender exporter or something, because this is kind of annoying. Normal fence is just a single small block. Fence, yeah, I've got the normal fence in there already. So yeah. Yep, we got normal fence block already. Twitch random nickname. Does fence with block on top get smaller? Yes, but I think I understand you. Like it doesn't have any connectors. I think that's what you mean. And I think we should be fine there, but we'll see. Okay, so anyways, let's go. It looks like for the regular half or the regular fence, I did 0.3 offsets. So that's what we'll use for these offsets as well, since it is smaller. So 0 is going to actually be, this is the back bottom left is 0, 0, 0. So this is 0, 0, 0. So this would be 0, 1, 0. Okay. And then this would be 0.3 in the X and Z dimension. So then 1 would be 0. I lost my, there we go. That helps. Okay. So that would be positive Z. So that's 1. This would be 0.6, which makes sense. Cool. Then 2, which is right here, is going to be same Z, except we're going to go down. I guess we'll call this 0.6, or maybe we'll call it 0.5, and we'll call this 0.4 so that the inner... Oh, wait, there should be 2 in between, shouldn't there? Yep, fence has 2 sticks per side. Yeah, yep, I just saw that. For now, we'll do 1 connection per side because it's easier for me, and we can at least get it working, and then I can change the model, and it should still work the same. So we'll do that at a later time. For now, this is just proof of concept to show you guys how it all works. But yeah. And yeah, I know I definitely do need something because this is annoying to like have to manually specify and everything, but it's not that bad. Okay, so 2 is going to be then, we'll call this 0.5 for now. X is 0, Z is 0.6, 3 is going to be 1 in the Z offset, we'll call that. 0.5 here. Oh, and I guess we should call this 0.55 and 0.45. Probably makes a little bit more sense. We'll fix all that in the future, though. Don't worry. Okay, and then that's going to be 0. 4 is going to be this one, which is 4.5 in the Y. 0.0. And then Z is going to be, that's 1. Okay, and then 5 is going to be back there. It's going to be the same as 2. Just 4.5 instead of 5.5. Okay. And then 6 is going to be the same as 1. Except instead of this, it's at 0. Okay. And then 7 is just 0, 0, 0. So that's pretty easy. Okay. And then we'll say V8 is right up here. That's going to be X is 1, Y is 1, Z is 0. Let's copy all that too, just so that we have that. Okay, V9 is going to be, that's X is 1, Y is 1, Z is 0.6. Yes. Oh, wait, and that shouldn't actually be 1 since we're going in the X direction. That should be 0.6. And I just realized that this is wrong too, because this isn't 0.0.0, that's actually 0.3. 0.3. Okay, now I've got to go fix all this. There is no X is 0. Fix that. Okay, all of that should be good, and I think that should be 0.3. 0. Yes. Okay, that's better. Cool, and that should be 0.3 for 9. No, that should be 6. I hope I'm doing this right. This is already going very badly on stream. Okay, we'll do 10. Looks like that's 0.6, 0.6, 0.55. So we'll do 0.6, 0.6, 0.55. 11 is going to be 1 in the Z direction, 0.55 in the Y direction, X direction is 0.6. Yep. Okay, let's go to 12. 12 is down here, so that's just 0.45. Same thing other than that, though. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Okay, let's see. 13. And we're almost there after this. 13 is 0.6, 0.6, 0.45. Cool, that works. V14 is 0.6, 0.60. Okay, and then 15 is the last one, which is just 0.30 and 0.6. Okay, so that should be it. We're good with the vertices. We've got all those defined. And then for the faces, we just sort of do the same thing. So left is going to be pointing that way, which is this face. So then we just define the triangles. So we say this is 0, 7, 15. And if I get the counterclockwise wrong, then I can just swap those afterwards. It's pretty easy. So we'll do 0, 7, 15, 0, 15, 8. That's our left. Well, actually, we have to do all the left faces too. So we actually, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, and then the right faces could be different because we got this face, and this face. And actually, I don't think we actually need to do this face since it's never really going to be used. So we can just do, we'll do the bottom face first, 14, 13, 5. 14, 13, 5. And then we'll do 14, 5, 6. And then we've also got this top face up here, which is 10, 9, 1, and then 10, 1, 2. Okay, then we'll get the top faces. Hopefully that's clear. It's this one and this one. So this will be 0, 1, 8, 1, 8, 9. And then we've also got 2, 3, 10, and 10, 3, 11. Wait, nope, that's going the wrong direction. Okay, then 3, 10, 11. Okay, and then bottom faces, basically the same thing. Just the bottom faces now. 15, 7, 6, and then 15, 6, 14. And then we got this face, which is 13, 5, 4. And 13, 4, 12. Okay, then we got the front face, which is this guy, I believe. So we got two squares here. We've got 15, 8, 9, 15, 9, 14. Then we've got 13, 10, 11. And 13, 11, 12. Okay, and then back face, which is the last one, which is 7, 0, 1 and 7, 1, 6. Then we've got, I believe that's 5, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 4. Okay, so that should be it. We should get that model. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll have to tweak some things, which is usually the case. Like I said, I'll build an exporter because you shouldn't be doing this stuff automatically, but for now, it's a proof of concept and it works. The solid faces of stairs don't do any culling in the big chunk mesh, do they? They do. It automatically determines whether the offset is bordering a face, and then if it is, it culls that face. So I'll show you guys that in a minute too. I also forgot to add this though. We need to add this to our block formats so that we actually have a fence block to work with. Okay, so we got oak fence here. Let's change the type to fence block. And we should be good. Okay. We may have to restart that. No, I think we should be good because it just loaded it then. Okay, so then if we jump into here, give ourselves a fence block, we should sort of see something at least. Not sure if it'll be the right thing, but we'll see something. Let's move our grass block there. Okay, well actually, we'll do this. This is where it should go. So we'll say give @me fence block. Okay, what's that say? Fence post. Did I call it fence post? Oh no, I called it oak fence. That makes sense. Okay, there we go. Cool. So we got it. There we go. We've got this face. Looks okay. What happens if we... That doesn't look okay. Uh-oh. My block rules aren't working or that model was wrong. Let's see. Which one was it though? That is the question. So let's exit out of here real quick. Pull this back up. So if we go up here, fence block, these are the vertices, and then we say become a half fence if the left block is a fence or a cube. Yeah, it should do it if any of these are true. I think. Hopefully I'm not thinking about this wrong. Let me go up here real quickly, because it might be doing an and expression for all those, which means that it wouldn't do it for any. Okay, yeah, it should be doing or, because this is doing or. Okay. So yeah, it should be becoming this for any of that stuff then. Let's try this again. How to solve the problems with ambient occlusion. I'll just have to interpolate the vertices between how far they are from like where it should be, and then I can just sort of do that. I think I have rotations wrong or something in a few other problems too, which is why it's doing that. And box riffs. So, those neat and large animations when you hover over world. Yeah, that's the power of CSS, man. I'll show you this real quick too, though. So, like, the bottom face of this is actually cold because it's bordering this face, and it does know which face is too cold. So if I go into here, those are not being cold properly. They should be. So that's something else I'll have to look into. But for the most part, they are, I believe. No, okay. So this is not supposed to happen. And you know why this is happening. It's because I'm changing the block types is what I'm betting based on a lot of different things. So yeah, basically it should be doing it. You can see it's culling the bottom face though against, oh wait, no, it's because right now I have like different block types. If it's not a cube, it doesn't even try to cull it, because you could come up with a case like this where you have two fence blocks next to each other, but you don't want to cull these faces because they don't actually touch. So right now I just have it, if it's a different block type, it just doesn't do that at all. But it is able to, so like if I do this, it doesn't draw any of the faces in there. So like it can figure that type of stuff out, and it does try to cull if it can. This is weird though. Let's do something just so that we can at least see if it's working, and then we can kind of move on from here, and I'll debug this in my off time because it really doesn't matter. We'll do oak half fence. Copy all this stuff, and we'll do that. Make that 20,000 because we don't want to use this again afterwards. Okay, and then we'll do a half fence. Oh, is it because this is wrong? Is this supposed to be fence block, or is it called something else? Okay, no, that's right. And then this is half fence. Okay, so we'll do that. Let's go ahead and go into here. Well, one of the fence will find the fence. Wouldn't the other find a fence block? Oh, wait, I think you're right. Do I have that completely wrong in here? Yeah. You're right. This should be fence block. Let's change that. It still doesn't make sense, though. Oh, wait, do I have that called cube block? No, it's just called cube. So it should still be, like, turning into a half fence for cubes, which it wasn't. So I think it's still kind of broken. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, so I'm not sure, because, like, it should still turn into a half fence here, but it's not. So let's just give ourselves one, see if the model at least looks correct. Let's go ahead and move this up here. Give at me half oak fence, invalid block. What did I call it? Give at me oak half fence. That's what I called it. Okay, so the model's not right. We've got some of the faces right, but some of them are completely wrong. But yeah, that's how you add new block types into the game, guys. You can see it's super easy and it works first time and you never have any problems. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it this way forever. Okay, I'm getting tired of this. Don't feel like fixing all this stuff, so you know, you get the gist. It works eventually, as you can see. Right now it's not working because I can't do stuff on stream apparently. But yeah, let's go ahead and start working on biomes, because that's something I've been wanting to work on and I think it'll be cool. I started experimenting a little bit with how I want it to work, but it's kind of hard to figure stuff out. Yeah, it's just a feature now. I know, right? We're just going to leave it this way forever. Fences are going to be very strange, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so not sure what this should be. How do we come up with biome stuff? That is the difficult part. Because biomes dictate a lot of things. They dictate the types of blocks, they dictate colors, they dictate terrain. And so basically I have to change sort of the way that I'm doing stuff. Right now, what I'm doing is I use this to generate the terrain, right? So these are a bunch of different generators that get used. And we combine all this stuff together into one big noise map, and then I use that to determine the height. But this won't work because it's going to determine one type of height. You'll notice that the terrain is all very uniform. Like if I go and start flying around, you know, it's not completely uniform, but it is uniform for the most part. So like if I just do some new world, we create that. Have I seen the Minecraft developers videos with it? Not sure which video you're talking about, but let's go set the time. Okay, so you can see we've got like, it's interesting terrain for sure, but it's all pretty uniform. Like it's gonna be mostly the same. And I think the main reason it feels mostly the same, even though it's like actually pretty diverse, is because we're not really changing the block types. We're not changing any of that stuff. So yeah, we got to kind of change that up a little bit, right? Does Minecraft have half block size like you've made? Not the vertical ones. Those are something that I added. Yep. Minecraft terrain generation in a nutshell by Henrik. I will probably check that out later. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do kind of want to like experiment on my own, see what I come up with. Just to see if I can, you know, sometimes when you see a solution, you just automatically go to that solution afterwards and you don't really try to come up with something newer. So it can be helpful to like just come up with something on my own first. Yeah. Someone posted in the helpful resources. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. You also notice we got a little bit of artifacts over there. That's fine. I'll fix that eventually. But it's actually pretty, you know, you get these smaller lakes and then you get some bigger sized lakes, little islands. So the terrain's actually pretty good right now. But we don't have like super steep mountains, or we don't have like super flat areas and all that type of stuff. Meadows, all that. The original reason I started adding the multiple block types too was to help biomes, because I was like, oh, I want to start adding flowers and grass and stuff, which we do have, by the way. If I say give, look at that, we got grass. So using that same method, and then I can also, I think I have Azure Bluet, I don't know. Yeah, we got flowers too. So we can actually start using these in our terrain generation, which will be cool. You can't break them, which is very strange, because you should be able to break them. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this, because I'm using physics. I'm not using like picking to determine what I'm hitting. So that's very strange, but it is what it is. I'll see if I can figure that out at some other point. But yeah, so basically we just need to sort of change the block types, and that's broken. Don't pay attention to that. That's kind of the hard part too, because it's like, how do you define a format where we can easily define different terrain and stuff? And I know I can look at like how Minecraft actually does it, which I might do in the future, but I kind of want to come up with my own thing. And like I said, I kind of was leaning towards this direction, where basically what we'll do is we'll generate a Simple X noise, 2 maps for the temperature and the humidity, right? This is how Minecraft used to do it. And I think they're doing it this way again now. So we generate those, then depending on those, we pick one of these. And we'll actually interpolate too. So like if we're in between 2 different things, then we'll interpolate between them, and that way we get like a blending between different terrains as well. The only problem with this is, sure, you can have like a certain temperature and heat in different areas of the world, but it's like, how do you tell if that's an ocean or if that's just Florida, right? because the ocean has sort of the same temperature as like a tropical area like Florida. You know, so it's not very robust, and that's what's been causing me to like wait a little bit on this, because it gets very complex. There's more complex stuff than just temperature and humidity. And then same thing with like temperature and humidity doesn't tell you if you're hitting a mountain or if you're hitting you know, deciduous forest or whatever, right? So it's difficult. It's not as simple as I would like it to be. For now though, I can at least do the very basic, and we'll kind of come up with some random stuff and then just see if we can get it working at least. So we'll do a desert and an oak forest because I think that is kind of easy to do, right? So, I'll talk about too real quickly, just another thing that I was thinking of. So basically, right, we can do this temperature thing, but we can also combine it with something like this. Not this. This is talking about how Minecraft actually does it. Is it this one? No, that was something else I was looking at. That's something else I was looking at. Not that either. Oh, here we go. I think he has one on Biomes. So let's go to... This thing is awesome, by the way. If you ever need to look at stuff, look at Red Blob Games. Amazing. And he's got a lot of cool algorithms here. I think it's in here, actually. Yeah, it is. Let's go to... Is it climate? No, that's not it. He has something specifically on Biomes, I thought. Wait, let's check again. Maybe it is in here? I don't know. Okay, let's go down to infinite map. Maybe it is down here. Or maybe I didn't read it here. I don't even know. But basically, the other idea is like you use a rule-based system and like hexagonal grids, or almost like cell-based noise, which looks like... Let's open something up so we can explore this. There are a lot of resources there. There is, yep. Yep, it's not just map explanations. It's actually cool. Is it not the one right above climate? It might be. Let's go. I have something in here. Or maybe I did. I lost it now. Here. Cell-based noise. Let's just do this. Or actually, let's just go to fast noise light or something like that. Yeah, this one. And he's got another... Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So basically, you create a bunch of these cells, and these cells each have like different things, and then you encode rules, right? So what you could do is you could combine the temperature and humidity. That gets you your basic like biomes and stuff, and then you use something like this, and you basically say, hey, if it's in this state, then this is like a oak forest. Or actually, no. If it's in this state, then this is a mountain. This is an ocean. This is regular land, right? So then you could use this to determine which parts are like mountainous and sort of get the terrain undulations, right? You get those peaks and valleys. And you could also encode rules, right? So you could say like you can't put a mountain next to an ocean if you wanted to. I mean, but you could, because that kind of does make sense. So yeah, basically you just combine a bunch of different noise patterns to get that mixture. Evoloid cells, I think. Cellular noise? I'm not sure if he's using any sort of specific noise algorithm for this. He's just calling it cellular noise. So, and this is the library I am using. But yeah. So I basically kind of want to combine all that stuff together. So we'll have like this temperature humidity map, and then we'll also have our terrain map, kind of. Except what it is it's really just determining whether we're in like a mountainous cell or something. And you can also blur those edges. So like you can do this. So you get that automatic interpolation between different terrain types, which is nice. So yeah, that's the plan. Oh man, and I really... It's going to be a lot of work. So yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll implement the most basic part of it, which is just getting these things up. So we'll say like... We'll do something like this for now. and we'll say heat is high. So I'm using Fahrenheit because that's what I'm most familiar with. But yeah, so we'll just do like max is that and that. And then we'll say noise generator is, we'll call this desert terrain.yaml. So for now, this is what we'll do. Let's go ahead and just generate those maps first real quick. So I've got like something called terrain generator.h. And then we got terrain generator.cpp. Okay. And this is where we kind of just like get stuff from. So we can get the normalized height, we can get the noise, and then we'll also have to add something in here like get biome. So yeah, that should be good. You can see I kind of messed around with biome stuff here, but it's not really doing anything because yeah, it doesn't really do anything. So instead what I'll have to do is I'll have to say like float get heat for int x, y, and z. Float get temperature. Nope, that's the same thing. We'll get temperature because that makes more sense. And then humidity. And then we can have something like biome get biome, which uses these two internally to determine which kind of biome type we are in. Yeah, I like that. We'll do a enum biome, or I guess enum class. So then we'll have right now oak, forest, desert. Those are our two biomes. Okay, and I don't even know if we should expose these, or I guess these, since you shouldn't really be using them from within, but hey, I've got this stuff exposed, which are technically internal functions too, so I guess it really doesn't matter too much. I might change that in the future. Let's say to do hide private methods. Okay. SE Woods, do you want to call it and take the weekend? I may in just a minute. We'll at least get the heat map, or I guess the temperature maps and stuff up and running, because that shouldn't be too difficult, and then we can kind of go from there. So what we'll do is we'll go into here, terrain generator. I think I had that below free. Yeah. So we'll go down to here, kind of go there, whoops, and then we'll go here. Okay, so get temperature, what's that gonna do? Well, we're gonna use our temperature map, which I guess we do also have to define in here as well. So this is the biome noise. So what we can do is like, this is how we can like create just general generators and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll say like, this is temperature map. And then we'll have a humidity map. Okay, and these will sort of be our base. And then we can define the type of noise that we're using here. We can add in all these different stuff, right? That just sort of determines what we get. I guess what I'll do is I'll like change this to 0.001, or actually we'll leave that 5 for humidity. Put it at 1. For that, just so that we get some different values and stuff, and then we can kind of go from there. So we will do that. Let's go into here. We're gonna have to make it a little bit more complicated too. So instead of this, we're gonna actually change this to like temperature config and humidity config and the seed. So this is what we will use. What's the fractal aspect of it? I haven't seen that in noise. It's basically whatever is used in here. So I'm literally just like encoding these things. So the idea is you download this tool, you come up with something you like on here, and then you can just encode it directly into the noise generator, and it'll use all those same values. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can just sort of mess around with this, and then you get that visual aspect right away. And it's a lot easier to tell what you're doing once you actually put it into there. But yeah. It has an export setting on here too, which I should probably be using, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so anyways, we'll have like this initialization thing for temperature and humidity. And then somehow, oh, and then that should give us like these things, right? Wait, no. Okay, and then we have this terrain noise. Okay, so I guess we'll also need like the, wait, not that one, the biome noise. Okay, and then we'll use this one, which will tell us like which file to go into and everything like that too. So then we'll also take in const char star biome config. And so then we'll use the combination of all these three to get the rest of the files, and then it should all just sort of work out. That's how it should happen. And then what we'll do is inside of here, I've got these things, which basically, or I guess these things. So we'll have like a static weighted noise, or maybe just FNL state. I don't know. Humidity map, static FNL state, temperature map. Yes. Okay. I think this is what we'll want. So we'll basically have these things. For now, we'll just generate them ourselves. Maybe. I'm still not sure what I want to do. Basically, we can reuse this stuff to sort of get all that. You just sort of define all these things here. And once we have all that stuff defined, we should be able to go into here and do something like what we're doing way down here. Yeah, okay, something like this. Just gonna make sure that I'm not missing anything. So we basically just do something like that. And we'll eventually be able to say something like return that. And right now I'm just using X and Z. We might use Y eventually to do like vertical biomes and stuff. But yeah, and then we can just do like, instead of this, temperature map dot state. Oh, and then I just do that. And yeah, that should work. Cool. And then we basically just do something like that, and we would do the same thing here, except we would use the humidity map. Okay. And then what we would do here is, this should also have seed, shouldn't it? Yeah. So we'll have to encode that somehow as well. Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know, because the seed might be encoded here. Yeah, actually, I don't think we do need to do this, because you encode it when you're creating it, I think. You basically seed the FNL state up here somewhere. I believe. Noise type, frequency, weight. Oh, seed. Okay, yeah. So we seed it up here, which should be fine. Okay, cool. So then we basically do that. And then this would do something like float temp equals get temperature X, Y, Z. Float humidity equals get humidity X, Y, Z. And I guess we could use the Y too to like bias temperatures and stuff, because you know the higher you get, the colder it is. So that could also be something that's cool. And then what we could do is we could use something like get best biome fit, and we pass it the temperature and the humidity, and that should return a biome. And then I guess we could just say like return that biome. And then what we could do is instead of when we generate the terrain, we'll just pass in the biome here, and then that will automatically determine it. So that's gonna be my basic process and stuff. Not feeling very well today. I think I'm probably gonna close the stream off like right about now, just because that, and also because I have that VR headset that I really kind of want to try again. So I might go and play that for a little bit. But thank you all for coming. I do think this is turning into a pretty cool thing. For those of you who just joined, I will show it again so that you can at least see what it actually looks like. But yeah. I'll hopefully be coming up with like a distribution technique too, so that you guys can actually download this and mess around with it if you want. But yeah, is it cool? It is very cool. I got the Valve Index and it's awesome. If you guys have the money and the time, get it. It's amazing. So it does cause me a headache and stuff, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, this is what the game looks like so far. I think it's really coming together. We've got really cool things like colored lights that just sort of work. You know, that's orange, red, blue. They mix. It's all cool. You know, we got different block types. They don't work completely, but we're working on that. We got time. You can see it also sort of affects stuff still in the daytime. I might turn that down a little bit because I don't really like that. I feel like it shouldn't be doing that. You can also mess around with stuff, go digging. We need to add like player models and stuff too, in actual caves and everything, because you know those are actually pretty important. I just haven't gotten around to it, and it's pretty hard. This is ugly. I should change that, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is, you know, the game's going pretty good so far. We got commands, we got debug menus. I think it's pretty good. So hopefully we'll continue making more progress and it'll turn into a cool game pretty soon. Yeah. And yeah, I just use the VR headset for games right now. No. And thanks. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I really appreciate you coming out to the stream again. And I'll probably see you guys next week at 8 a.m. CST. I might not, because I might have to do some other stuff. But yeah. I'm going to be working on the next YouTube video too. It's going to be a devlog on this. So it'll probably be like a much more condensed and easy to digest version of this. But yeah, looking like it's going to be like 15 minutes. And should be coming out hopefully by the end of next week. Really aiming for that. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys then.